Hi, my name is Celia Padilla, and this is my Heidi Roizen oral case study. I'd like to start off by saying that I believe everybody has a crucible story, meaning there are things in people's past that shape them to the people that they are now. For Heidi, I believe there were two major events. One was when she was 9 years old, when her parents got divorced. Her mom started working in a school cafeteria, and she had a little side business on her own just to bring in money in order to survive. The second one, I believe, was whenever her fiance was killed. This was an eye-opener for her, especially because she realized how she had lost focus on herself, and she was dependent on somebody else. And from that point on, she told herself that she was not going to be dependent on another person. From then, she graduated. Actually, she went back to school, graduated from Stanford. Roizen's network bang. Well, after graduating with her graduate degree, she ended up working with her brother and trying to make something out of the Tea Maker program. She knew that building awareness of this program was something that she needed to do. Roizen knew that social proof would get the product rolling because of, quote, human beings heavily rely on the people around them for cues on how to think, feel, and act. And this is mentioned in Harnessing the Science of Persuasion. She also joined the Software Publishers Association, also known as the SPA, and that's what really got her foot in the door. She, because of joining this association, she befriended many industry leaders that maybe weren't famous at the time, but eventually built up a reputation to where they were well known. She also mentioned in the article that, quote, it's easier to get to know people when they're not famous because you have already developed a relationship with them. And this is also mentioned in different words in the book, Give and Take. It says, strong ties provide bonds, but weak ties serve as bridges. They provide more efficient access to information, but weak ties serve as a bridge. They provide more efficient access to new information. In other words, just because somebody isn't famous doesn't mean later on they'll reach their full potential and they'll know different people. Consistency is also something that Heidi believed was very important. She valued other people's private information as well as her own. And to be consistent with her network, it built others' trust for her and for others, as mentioned in the article, How to Build Your Network. This happened with Lisa in that same article. She realized that whenever she attended trade shows and informal activities, that private information is just flowing left and right in both directions when people are talking. But why is this? Well, they found something similar with each other. They found a mutual bond, a mutual liking, and this allowed them to speak. This allowed them to speak more formally, not so professional. It opened up the doors to friendship, to relationships that can last for years and years. And this is what Heidi also did, also wanted to do as she opened up the doors to her home. She wanted all of these connections to flow, for all these other networks to connect that right then and there in her own home. Reciprocity is also something that Heidi used throughout her career and her networking. Her sole intention of networking wasn't solely to get something out of it, but mainly to help people make those connections to, either professionally, socially, whatever it was for their benefit. As it's mentioned in the book Give and Take by Adam Grant, when they truly need help, givers can reconnect with dormant ties, receiving novel assistance from near forgotten but trusted sources. This is what happened with Heidi. Word for word, that's exactly what happened to her at Apple. I mean, she started talking to these industry big shots, but she could have met them back whenever she was working, or actually whenever she was part of the SPA. how long had it been? And it had been years, but depending on that consistency that she had with them, that's when she was really testing it. Was this really going to work? Am I handling my network well? Things of that sort.
I developed this networking map of Heidi Roizen's career. You can see it from the beginning, when she started at Tandem, which is a red dot, down to the SoftBank venture capitalist on the bottom right. I mean, you see all the major connections, from Tandem down to Teammaker, from Apple to, becoming a mentor capitalist, um, and from, at becoming an SPA president. Like I said earlier, it opened up the doors to befriending industry leaders, which led on to, countless connections. Same with opening the door to her home, and not only helped her, but it helped others, in the networking aspect. Also, you don't see the weak connections here, but I believe it all started with a weak connection. Heidi, like I said at the beginning of this video, Heidi knew somebody that worked at Tandem, and I believe that shows that although it's a weak connection, you never know what can come from it. Without that weak connection, would Heidi have developed the network that she has today? Probably not. But hopefully this demonstrates to you the importance of having a network, and networking and keeping everything consistent.